maybe a minute to connect. Maybe not that long actually, and I'll let you know when we're connected.
For sure.
And hopefully we get some questions. Here we go. I just need to make sure that I mute. There we go, we're connected. So I'm just gonna mute the YouTube video so that it doesn't interrupt us because it's got a few seconds lag on it. I don't think we've already got people watching. How good is that? We've already got people watching us. That's lovely. Hello. Please say hi to us if you're watching. If you're watching, please talk to us. Oh, Mr. Davies. Hey Jade. Hey, how are you? Nice to hear from you. Yeah, so I have the absolutely lush Rebecca Redmond with me. We met, didn't we, Rebecca? We met back in January.
Yes.
In the lovely Barcelona. We were very lucky to both be put on a panel together that required us traveling to Barcelona. My journey was a lot shorter than yours though, Rebecca, wasn't it? Because where are you from?
I'm from Canada, so we had an extensive journey over there.
It was a little bit of a belated honeymoon for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, about 11 years late.
11 years late.
Late than never.
Exactly. It's great. We've got people watching. Oh, that's who you are. Hello. He's the Welsh cake guy. I met him at TAD. Hello, Stephen. Oh, I hope I got your name right. Is it Stephen? Let me know if I've got it right, please. And Megan says hi. Hi, Megan. I'm good. Thank you for asking. I'm really good. How are you? So Welsh Cake Guy is asking how you are, Rebecca. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. Hello to everybody.
I knew I was close. David Stevens. That's what he's called. David Stevens. Hi, David. Sorry. I was having a complete blank then. Hello, David Stevens. Lovely for you to tune in and lovely to hear from you. And I'm coming to Wales, hopefully. Well, as long as the event still goes ahead at the end of September, I'll be in Wales. So hopefully I'll see you then, David. Right. So, Rebecca, not only is second cousin 3 times removed? Is that what?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, second cousin three times removed of Mr. Frederick Banting, but she is also an artist. That's right, isn't it?
It is. And that's what I say anyhow. It explains all my doodling.
And you are actually making a piece of art. Have you made it yet? Or are you still in the process?
It's almost done, still under wraps.
Okay, so she's making something out of these. And it's all to be revealed. Is that right?
It is, yeah. It's massive, so it's taken some time, but it's a year's worth. Oh, I think there's 127.
Wow. And you told, I remember when I first met you, Rebecca, you said that you were a bit of a hoarder and that you weren't surprised that you kept every single insulin pump that you had in your first year.
I'm sitting here actually because now I'm hoarding empty vials.
Oh, is that going to become a piece of art?
I don't know what will happen, but they're all here.
I really wanted to buy a load of empty vials for pricks for the set. And I contacted Novo Nordisk because that's the insulin I've pretty much used for the last, I don't know how many years, but a lot of years now. Probably like 20 years or something. And I wanted to get little Novo rapid bottles, but they weren't legally allowed to give me them because they're not allowed to be seen to advertise themselves.
Oh.
Probably because it's a bit different to America, isn't it? Because obviously we're NHS, we've got an NHS. It's not America, you're in Canada. Get the right.
I am. Yeah.
So are you all private healthcare in Canada, or do you have a system like we do?
We go province. Every province is different.
Okay.
So because I'm in Ontario, I have some healthcare, but it doesn't cover diabetic supplies.
And do they advertise like they do? Because my dad lives in the US. So like they do in the US, do the medical companies the pharmaceutical companies, are they okay to advertise on television like they do in the US?
There's certain stipulations. So you'll see things like the Freestyle Libre.
Yes.
That is something that's advertised, but then other things.
Advertised here actually as well. So I don't know how you get around that. Maybe it's because it's a device and not
a drug. A drug.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe. Got quite a few people watching. Oh, guess who's watching us? Our mutual friends watching us.
Oh,
Sarah! Sarah's watching. And I met, so David is friends with Sarah. Sarah says, hey both, looking forward to this. What a teeny tiny world. So yeah, David, Rebecca is type 1 diabetic. When were you diagnosed, Rebecca? He's just asking if you're type 1.
I am. I was diagnosed type 1 March 26th, 1999. So I just celebrated my 21st anniversary not long ago.
And how long have you been on Omnipod now? You have not, that's how we met. We met through Insulect, didn't we? To make Omnipod. How long have you been on that now?
Since November of 2018. So I did 19 years of MDI before switching to, that was my first pump.
Yeah, I was the same. Like, I didn't want a pump for ages. I just wanted, I didn't want something permanently attached to me. But it's 4.5 years ago I switched. It was my 30th diabetes. So I think it was about 26 years I was MDI before I switched to pump. And I honestly, I don't get paid for saying this, guys. I just think it's the best thing I ever did. I think I agree.
I agree. And I don't get paid either.
Yeah, everyone's different. And for me, it was the best thing I ever did. And I've always been on Omnipod. And you know what? I was supposed to get my dash, Rebecca. I was supposed to get my dash last week, and it didn't happen because of lockdown. Oh, I've got a visitor.
Oh,
this is Effie. This is one of my cats. Everyone say hi to Effie. Effie, say hi to everyone. She's like, get off me. Get off me, Mum. Come say hi. Say hi. She's like, yeah, I don't want to see you later. Yeah, sorry, getting distracted by cats. So, what are you going to teach me to draw today, Rebecca?
What would you like to draw? I know you said you wanted to draw people, and then I'm like,
well, I struggle. I am happy to draw anything. You know what I've been doing? There's this thing. Oh, my cat's now knocking the computer screen. There's this thing on YouTube at the moment called Draw with Rob, and Rob is this guy called Bob. I can't remember his surname. He's a children's book author and illustrator. And he's been teaching you to draw characters from his book, and that's been really fun. So I've enjoyed doing that. What would you like to teach me? Honestly, you decide.
Well, my son, who was desperate to make a cameo, but I banished him because he'll just he'll take over.
Hopefully they don't come and gate crash. They haven't gate crashed one yet. They've been good. Watching. So yeah, what do you want to teach me?
We can draw we could do a cat to start, since we just saw a cat.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not too bad at cats, I don't think, but I bet you can teach me to draw a better cat.
Depends. It depends. It takes me a long time if I'm doing something realistic, but I can also do just like quick little guys. I doodle a lot.
I like quick little guys.
I was waiting, and I did this one earlier.
That's cute. I like that. It's cute.
Just on a scrap piece of paper. I don't even know what this is. Probably why I lose a lot of artwork that way, because I just a napkin or a grocery list.
Remind me, my daughter, my youngest one, she's 6, came in early and went, Mum, can you make me a paper airplane out of this? I went, yeah, of course I can. And it was a couple of minutes later, she'd left the room. I opened it up and I realised it's her first ever letter from the Tooth Fairy. And I was like, no, I'm not making a paper aeroplane out of your first ever letter from the Tooth Fairy. Seriously. She like, but the Tooth Fairy's got really sweet little writing, look. And she's so nasty. See? Anyway, so
very sweet.
Let's draw a cat. How do I start?
Okay. I don't know. How would you, or we could draw at the same time.
Why don't you draw a little bit and then show me it?
Okay,
Then I'll
I'll
come.
show you how I do. My son likes when I draw chubby cats.
Okay.
I don't know why.
We've got a cat in our street that I call Fat Cat. It's not one of ours, but it's so fat, and I call it Mr. Fat Cat. It's great.
Mr. Fat Cat.
Yeah.
So I always start, there's his chubby little body.
Right, that's
It's not much.
chubby body. Chubby body.
Chubby body.
Oh, I don't think I made mine chubby enough. Never mind. Right.
He needs to eat more. Aww. Then
Guys,
we always,
you can draw with us, you know.
draw with us. Yeah. Then you give him a fat head.
Fat head. Yeah, I got that. I got the fat head. It's fatter than the body. Yeah.
There. Yeah.
Okay, and then we need the little ears.
Little ears.
Okay, got the ears.
Then, because he likes everything cute, we do a little heart for the nose.
Oh, little heart with a little smile. Sorry, I'm getting a bit too into it. I'm there.
Then he likes these kind of eyes. They're called Dave Pilkey eyes, he calls them. They're just little lines.
Has it got a chin on there, or am I just seeing things?
That's his chin.
That's his chin. Oh,
Yeah.
I haven't done a chin. What do I do on the chin?
He just a little. That's a professional artist term.
Is it just one line?
Just one little dash.
Like, oh, that way. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Oh, so what did I miss anything then? No.
Whiskers.
Right. Have you done anything else? Have we just got this?
I just did just some whiskers.
Do some whiskers.
They're important.
They are. That's how they know whether they can fit through the gap or not.
Now, this next part, he always giggles because he says it looks like boobs, but they're not. Oh, but they're paws. They'll turn into paws, not boobs.
They do look a little bit like boobs.
But if you do that, then he has little claws. So now they look like paws.
Okay, just a couple of little lines, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
A tail.
Yep.
And there, just to show he's fat, he's sitting on his feet. Lovely. And then you can add stripes if you want.
I might add big fat. The one that lives in our street is black and white, and he's got like big black blotches on him. I'm going to add black blotches. I do often think, because everyone knows us in the street because we have 4 cats, everyone knows we have 4 cats, and I do worry that they see this big fat one like knocking around, because it's often knocking around at our end of the street, and I do worry that they my neighbours might think it's our cat, but I would never feed my cat that much food. It's not fair.
There. I did stripe. Our fattest cat has stripes, so. Oh,
well, I would never call Henry fat, but he is the fattest. He's black and white, a bit like this one. I'm just taking my time. We have got some questions that have come in actually as well.
For sure.
So Megan said that she was put on a pump age 9 and she was diagnosed at 2, and she doesn't actually remember between 2 and 9 being on injections anymore. She doesn't remember it. That's interesting. I'll always remember.
That is. For someone like me, that would be that. I was terrified. So I was diagnosed by a psychologist with needle anxiety. So I literally would like shake and have panic attacks every time I took an injection. So if I could eliminate that from my memory, I'd be okay.
Yes. I remember you telling me about the anxiety you had when we were in Barcelona. So David's asking us, Jade and Rebecca, would you ever go onto a tubed pump? Would you ever go onto a tubed pump?
No, for me, I didn't think it would work because I'm a hand talker and I was always nervous I would rip it off myself. So the tubeless works better for me that way. I was always afraid too that I would forget to reconnect
Right, yeah.
after a shower or something and then be like in the 20s. I love him.
That's Fat Cat that lives in my street.
There you go.
I don't think he does live in our street, actually. He doesn't belong to anyone in our street, but he lives nearby somewhere. He's often in the street. Yeah, I don't, David, I to the road recently, and I spoke to Insulat at the time because I said my consultant at the time was trying to convince me to go onto the tandem pump, and I decided that I couldn't, having been so used to being tubeless, and that was always my issue with not wanting a pump. I didn't want something permanently attached to me, but I didn't want tubes, and I was always dead certain about that. And my consultant gave me some time to think about it, and I came back to him and I said, no, I want to be wireless. I don't want wires. I love not having wires, and I never had an issue with the Omnipod pump. And he was like, I just think we might get better control. And I was like, no, I'm going to get the Dash. Hopefully at some point I'll get the Dash. And I said, then it's like a phone, and it can just live in my pocket then. I don't know where my PDM is at the moment, actually. It's not as bulky anyway. It can live in my pocket. And then I said, I'm convinced I will get better control that way. So I managed to convince him that I was convince him to give me the Dash because that's what I wanted to have. So let's have a look. Can Fat Cat have a belly button, please? Anne says. Cats don't have belly buttons though. Do they? Oh, yours got belly button. I've got a smudge where my belly button would be. I need a bit of Tipex to put it in the middle. Oh, that's cute. That's cute, that little belly button, actually. I like that. Good suggestion, Anne. South London bird. Sorry, that is Geordie. She says, OMG, hello. So JDRF UK, I've said, hi ladies, cute cat joins. And Rebecca says, Tabby, my favourite breed of cat. I think that might be Neela at JDRF. If it is, hello. Thank you for tuning in. And then let's have a look. Megan's saying that she's now 21 and scared of needles these days, so the pump definitely works better for her that way. So good job she wasn't scared of needles when she was 2, when she was
little. Yeah. Well, it's funny. I did a site change the other day, and my husband's like, I think you do a whole complete site change faster than you could take a needle before. So
that's good. That's good. To be fair, I've got that down to like under 2 minutes, I reckon now, getting my Omnipod changed. Oh wow, there's so many comments coming in, I'm having to scroll up to see them. So JDRF UK have a question for Rebecca. Are you the only person in your family you know with type 1?
As far as I know, I am the only one with type 1. I recently connected with Frederick Banting's son's stepson because he had no children of his own. So we connected through a post on Instagram. And as far as he and his mom knew as well from family that they have connected with, I'm the only type 1.
Wow. Oh, that just makes you even extra special then. That's great. I love that. And it's so bizarre. So how did you go about? So did you find out that you were related to Frederick Banting before or after your diagnosis? That's what I want to know.
we always knew before. My grandma was always really proud to be his relative. Can I show my grandma?
Yeah, show us your grandma.
I love her. It's an older picture. She's no
Oh.
longer with us, but she's my favorite person. I have her piano upstairs. She was always very, very proud of her relation to Frederick Banting. So we knew all along. I remember my brother assuming that I would get free insulin when I was diagnosed.
I remember seeing a post of
Didn't
yours.
happen.
I remember seeing a post of yours recently, Rebecca, where you were saying that Frederick Banting would, I can't remember what the words were that you used, but he would be so appalled at the cost of insulin now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because a lot of people know the story where he sold his rights and convinced two of the other three gentlemen to sell their patent rights. They each sold them for $1 US. So there was a $3 patent sale because one of the other gentlemen was actually trying to sell the patent for $1 million back in the 20s. So
wow. In the 20s. Wow.
In the 20s. So Banting was really ticked off about that. So he underhandedly kind of snuck in there and tried to get it produced at least to be available to everyone. But I think he would absolutely be disgusted with the state of
so
pricing.
Him doing that devalued what the other person was trying to sell it for then?
It did for a time. For a time, it also made their relationship quite rocky. So it was Mr. McLeod that was trying to sell it. So when they won the Nobel Prize together, Banting initially refused to accept it because he didn't want to share it with him. But the Canadian government was like, you have to do this.
Okay.
So he accepted, but then that's also why he shared his winning the prize with Charles Best.
Wow, that's so fascinating. I love all the extra details that you seem to know, and from being a family member, I think that's fantastic. And so Daniel Newman says, "Hi, Reba." Is that what he calls you? Is it Reba? Do you know?
My husband calls me Reba. He started calling me Reba like 20 years ago, and then everyone else just kind of picks up on it. Now, if most people call me Rebecca, I think I'm in trouble.
Well, so we've got a good question here from Michelle Green. Michelle wants to know, she's curious whether either of us have considered looping. Have you considered looping?
I know several people who loop and who have looped with Omnipod. I wanted to get a good year of pumping under my belt after going almost 20 years on MDI. That was overwhelming enough of a change. But I'm looking forward to everything that's kind of coming down the line. So there'll be the ability to do that. But I'm not opposed to looping.
I am totally not opposed to looping, but I will wait until there's the official kind of methods. I've got, you can see on my arm, so Dexcom have just approved Dexcom to be on your arm in the UK. It wasn't approved for your arm, it was only approved for your stomach before. So it's now on my arm. So I've got Dexcom, and I know Dexcom and Omnipod, you can use a system, not the Omnipod Dash, but the Omnipod that I've got at the moment. There is a way of looping that. And I know loads of people that do it through the online communities that I've spoken to, and they all say it's brilliant. And you know what? I think if I wasn't a Dexcom warrior and what are we called? Podvocate.
Potter.
I couldn't remember what we were called. Podvocate. Oh, there's a new term they're coming out with for us. What was the new one? Oh, it was mentioned in our group the other day. Our WhatsApp group. I can't think what it's called. I'm gonna check now because I feel really bad.
Yeah.
I'll check as I go. Anyway, I'm not supposed to. I can loop if I want to, but I can't advertise that I loop. I don't loop. I don't. I'm going to wait for the safe approved method, where if something goes wrong, then it's not my fault. Basically, that's what I'm going to wait for. Yeah, what is it? I'm just going to check what it is that Omnipod are going to call us shortly. Well, maybe I'm not allowed to say, actually. No, maybe I should wait until they announce it. Yes, I should wait until they announce it. Come on, Jade.
Top secret.
Top secret, yeah. So, oh, lots and lots of. So Frederick Banting's cousin, Andrew Type 1, crazy. Beautiful picture of your grandma. Can't believe you guys have to pay over there. It's mental. We're so lucky here in the UK. Hashtag love for the NHS. Yes, Geordie, I'm with you there. We are so lucky to just get everything. I don't pay for anything. My Dexcom's on the NHS. My Omnipod's on the NHS. It depends. I know it's very much depends on where you live. It's blah, 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 can't talk. So whether you can get things on the NHS. I'm in Darlington, and luckily I can. Yeah, we're so lucky. Our NHS are brilliant. Lots and lots of comments going on. I like it. I just want to thank you, Rebecca, for sharing this story. Have you been to the museum? So that is David that's asking that.
Okay. So I live about 10 minutes from the museum. I haven't always lived in London, Ontario. We moved here 2 years ago. I met Sarah. The first time I ever went to the museum, we met Sarah and Leanne. Yeah, that's where we met. So I have very, very fond memories of my first trip to the museum. We go back all the time. My son likes to give his own guided tours. But we spend World Diabetes Day there. So they're gearing up, hopefully once everything clears, but there's a big 100th anniversary of his idea happens this October.
Yes, so JJRF have just mentioned that.
Yeah.
They've got a question. They're saying, will you join JJRF in a very special celebration of your third cousin? Oh, I got it wrong. Sorry, Jamila. It is second cousin 3 times removed, Frederick, and the 100th anniversary of the discovery of insulin in 2021. So,
well, there was talk too. I know when we were in Barcelona that I'm touching my face, and I know I'm not supposed to, but I need a cone.
I've done it like a million times already. I do it all the time.
There's lots of talk because the Banting House Museum celebrates his idea this year as 100 years. So they have Grant, who runs the museum, is brilliant and does lots of work and puts forth lots of effort. So I know there's lots in play for that. And there was talk of maybe me going around or doing something to celebrate in 2021, perhaps with my secret art piece. I don't know.
Oh, you know what I think? I think that JJRF UK, Jamila, I think that we should encourage Rebecca to come to the UK, because I really want her to come and stay with me in Darlington for a little bit. We should bring Rebecca over to the UK for some celebrations, I think. I think that would be really cool. You could have a second honeymoon then.
There we go. I know. Well, I'd never get away with going there without bringing my husband and my son. So.
I was going to say you'd have to bring your son as well, definitely.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
How old's your son, Rebecca?
He's 10.
10. I thought it was 10. The same age as Mel. My eldest is 10. So you commented on something recently, which Geordie, who's actually tuned in, listening to us, she had said that her diabetes was best controlled when she was pregnant, and you agreed with her. You said the same thing happened with you.
Yeah. I got surprised pregnant. I was told for other reasons that we would never have kids. So we had kind of just decided that's okay. We'll be like the cool aunt and uncle. And I had an unrelated surgery and went to the doctor after and was like, something went wrong. I don't feel well. And they're like, well, you're pregnant. I went, oh, that's not the surgery I thought I was having. So.
Oh dear.
Surprise. But yeah, no, I was I guess at that point I'd been diagnosed about a decade, a little over a decade, and I never had control quite like I did when I was responsible for somebody else. It was easier.
You see, we adopted our girls. I've never been pregnant, but maybe I should have been, just to get a good 9 months of decent control, because my control is not good. I try my best though, and that's all I can do.
That's right.
So Geordie, who I was talking about just then, she's asking you, what age were you when you were diagnosed, and what's your control like?
So I was diagnosed at 17 and a half. So just before I turned 18. So it was a really odd time to be diagnosed. I missed camp, and then my parents weren't really involved because I was basically an adult. So it was right before I graduated high school and went to university. So it was like everything, my control was horrible, but that was mostly, I think, due to the care I received. I got lumped in with type 2s. So I didn't really get a good grasp of what it, I think there's my dog is wandering in the background. Where is he? Tommy. I don't, there.
Oh, there. Hello. Sorry. Talk to the computer like it's done. Hello.
So I spent a lot of like my primitive diabetes years with people who were old enough to be my grandparents, but who were type 2. So I don't think I had the right foundation for good control until later. And then it was a learning process over time. I have really good control now. I have a better A1C now than when I was pregnant, which was the best I'd ever had. So
that's good. My A1C is not bad. I just feel like I do this all the time, but I don't go as high since I got Dexcom. I don't ever go as high as I did before. I think because I can now see, and I'm getting much better at doing the pre-bolusing than I used to be. So yeah, I think that's definitely helped me. You've got Dexcom as well, haven't you?
I do.
We both do the same management.
You can see I have my Dexcom and my pod are all together.
Well, to be fair, I do have my pod there. I can't even remember where the things are. I can't feel them. So I'd already put that there last night, and I was like, oh, should I put my Dexcom on the same arm, or should I do different? And I went different, so I'm a bit like,
they're the same, but I do a fist, then there's still social distancing.
I like that a lot. Let me just go back to some of the questions, and then we'll do a bit more drawing. David said, Rebecca, so if I come to Canada, I can get a guided tour of the museum from you. Of course you can. You're not going to say no to that, are you, Rebecca?
No, not at all. Actually, it's right before we went into closing all of the non-essentials. Grant and I were talking, and I was going to be a tour guide, but we'll see. So as soon as it reopens, I'll be there.
And JDRF/Jamila wants to know, when you were a teen, did you have any friends nearby with type 1?
No, actually, the first friend I made who had type 1 was Sarah. We met in a forum on Facebook through another organization. And when she and Leanne came to Canada for a visit, that was the first time I knowingly met someone with type 1 in the flesh. So that was not that long ago, 3 years ago. So I went like 18 years without ever knowing anybody else.
I was the same. I didn't know anyone else with type 1 until it was 2011. That's 9 years ago. So I was 25. I was 25 when I first met someone else with type 1. And it was the lovely Kate Bracken, who's a fellow actress. We met on set for Inspector George Gently. And we were playing best mates. And it turned out she was type 1. And so I think I've mentioned it on one of my live chats before with someone. I think I've mentioned it, so I won't go on about it. But yeah, that was the first other type 1 I'd met. And then when I did a course called Daphne, which is dose adjustment for normal eating, when I did that in the UK, then I met, there was 5 of us that did it together, and they were all local, so that was nice. I met some other people then, but now I know so many now through doing pricks. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it's my community has grown. I met Sarah, and then the following year I signed up, I found out there was grown-up diabetes camp. So there's an organization here in Canada called Connected in Motion, and they do camps for adults with type 1. So I showed up on my own, just thought I'd give it a go. And I met 100 and something other type 1s from all over Canada and some parts of the States. So, and that number just grows and grows. So a lot in a small amount of time.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing how social media has helped. I didn't realize until I started researching for the show back in 2015. I didn't realize how many online groups there are to support you. Like with, yeah, I hadn't looked for. I'd never gone on Facebook and searched type 1 diabetes before, and then all of a sudden I just found this whole community, and it's amazing how once you go to one event, then you just get this whole sea of fantastic friends and supporters. And I've met so many lovely type 1s
Yes.
through online communities. And so JDF said, wow, you got to love Facebook. Exactly. You got to love Facebook and things like that for the way it can connect people from all over the world. So Anne's just said something lovely. Anne has just said, you are both such awesome advocates and humans. What are some strategies that are supporting your mental health and overall wellness during COVID-19? Well, I suppose for me, I don't know what my strategies are. I'm just keeping myself busy. I'm keeping myself busy, and maybe I'm burying my head in the sand a little bit. I don't know. I haven't gone out to the shops. It'll be 4 weeks on Saturday since I last went to a shop. So I haven't done any of that. I've been lucky enough that my husband can go out and do all of that. I've gone out for walks, out on my bike with the kids today. But I've just been keeping myself really busy. I really enjoyed organising a treasure hunt for my girls the other day. I'm going to do an escape room in the house for them as well. I've done loads of gardening, and I built loads, like I bought myself a load of Lego. I said it was no, I never said it was for the kids.
No.
I said it was for me. I wanted it. The kids have never been that into Lego, so we don't have much. So it's up there actually. I bought a big box of Lego, and I sat and played with Lego a lot and done jigsaws, and I've just ordered some more jigsaws as well. So I just been keeping myself busy. You're not in lockdown, so
not totally.
How is it affecting you?
Well, I suffer from anxiety before all of this happened. So I have social anxiety and I have general anxiety disorders. So I didn't much like going out anyway. So staying at home is kind of where I'm happiest. But through my blog for people with anxiety and mental illness and type 1, staying busy on there is good. I also think that it's totally normal to be anxious or afraid. So I find that instead of ignoring those feelings, you don't necessarily need to feed them, but I think feeling them helps work through that, and just knowing that once you work through it, you can move on to something else positive. We also have a lot of Lego.
Lego's great. It's fantastic.
Yeah, probably, I don't even know, probably millions of pieces of Legos, bins and bins of it. My son loved it. But having him, he's homeschooled before all of this started. So he was around a lot anyhow. So I think just thankfully it's been in the nicer-ish weather. So lots of time outside, just enjoying whatever moments that you can help get through.
Yeah, exactly. I'm coping with it all much better than my husband is. My husband's bored out of his mind. It's driving him insane. And he's the one that can go out to the shops and stuff. I'm not. But anyway, so JJRF, sorry, there's loads of questions coming through, and I don't want to ignore anyone. So JJRF UK would love a virtual guided tour of the museum, they said. And then David's response to that is that they need a plane/road trip to Canada with JJRF. I like that. And Geordie would love a virtual tour, she says. Yes, JDRF, that's right. Kate Bracken was in the cool Digibeat video that we did for World Diabetes Day with Johnny, because that was something that I'd organised. We were filming, I got me, Johnny and Kate together because I met them all through different, trying to think, when did I meet Johnny? Oh, Johnny interviewed me for his channel. So yeah, I got us three together to film something for Digibeat that we're doing for schools for you guys. And at the same time, we did the superhero thing. So that's right. Yes, Kate Bracken is in the JDRF superhero World Diabetes Day 2019 video. David says he's still my favourite. David, I need those Welsh cakes. You promised me Welsh cakes. I still haven't seen any. So he's wanting JDRF to do a camp for adults. I think that'll be class. I would go to a camp for adults. I think loads of type 1s that I've met would go to a camp for adults. And Anne's in agreement. And JDRF are talking about starting a virtual Zoom camp. So I think that's a lovely day. Yeah, that'll be fantastic. And what's David saying? Jade, I want to thank you for doing this live stream tonight and introducing me to Rebecca. She seems great. Thank you both for advocating and sharing such amazing stories. Oh, you're welcome, David. And Leanne, Sarah says that her Leanne's been doing Lego today. Big kids. Yeah, that's right.
We could do a virtual, we should do a Zoom Lego build.
Oh my gosh, that's an idea. Well, my guest next week, guys, is Partha Carr, and he's trying to have a think about what he can teach me to do. I've given him some suggestions, but I don't know what it is yet. Maybe he might be a secret Lego expert. Maybe we could build some Lego. Let's see. But yeah, Partha Carr next week, guys. Jodie says she's an anxiety sufferer too. I think it's quite common with type 1 diabetes, to be honest. But Jodie, I chatted to, that's right, it was me and Jodie were talking about Kate Bracken, and I know what Jodie's saying. She's completely different now from who she was 2 years ago, but and she pushes herself now, and she has a YouTube channel too. You should check that out. Put your YouTube channel in here so that people can find you, Jodie. Jodie lost a sibling, and that really sent her anxiety crazy. And I know she's happy for me to share that because I've recorded a video with her sharing that story with me. So that's okay. Anne says she needs to get Lego. Oh my gosh, there's so many comments, I can't keep up. We're going to draw something else. What we're going to draw, Rebecca?
Okay, so I like to bake too. So for friends' anniversaries, I make dead pancreas cakes.
I've seen your dead pancreas cakes on Instagram and stuff.
Yeah, and then I had friends that wanted them made into shirts, so we made them into shirts. And I know I should just put out there that I know that type 1 doesn't mean that our pancreas is dead. It was just like it's a tongue-in-cheek joke.
Yeah.
So I should have brought it because my dear friend Type Unicorn on Instagram. She had someone make me a crocheted little stuffy of my dead pancreas. He's in the other room. But Liam, my son, suggested that we draw a dead pancreas.
Let's do it. I don't know to, so let's go step at a time.
Woo. So there's your,
Right.
It's basic, very basic.
I don't actually think I've done a very good one there. I might just do another one. I didn't get the shape right. Show me it again, Rebecca.
Here we go.
Right, hang on. I've never drawn a pancreas before.
I do one at Christmas time. We call him the Christmas pancreas. He wears a Santa hat.
I've got sharp corners. I shouldn't have sharp corners. Never mind. Go on. What's next bit?
Just remember, art is subjective.
Yes. Subjective.
All art is art.
Yes. When people say they can't draw, everyone can draw.
Everyone can draw.
If
Everyone can do
anybody's
art.
on with us tonight, that would be pretty cool. Please do share it on social media and tag me in it. I'd love to see it. What's next?
And we do, it's like, I guess the veining or whatever. I don't know. Usually this is white, and then I do this little guy is blue, but we're in black and white today.
It's not, I don't have to be exact, do I, with that?
No.
Right, okay, cool, I've done it.
Then this is the really complicated part.
Okay. Is this gonna, are you being serious or is that a joke?
You give him X eyes because he's dead.
Oh. Okay.
And then to end it all, we give him a sad face because he's sad.
Is that it, yeah?
That's it. I mean, see, bless. It's perfect. And that's how it started as a cake. At Christmas, I had 30-ish people in the house, mostly type 1s and their families, and I made cookies, and then we had a decorate your dead pancreas cookie contest. It's really taken flight.
Oh.
And we have supporter shirts. We did shirts for the pancreas supporters, but their pancreases all had happy faces and eyeballs.
Oh. And Geordie says she's drawing hers and popping him on social tonight, so we'll get to see Geordie that she's drawn. Oh, you're the same. That's right. Sorry, of course you are. It's your name on here is your YouTube channel. Gosh, I can be so daft at times. Yes. So Geordie's channel is her name. South London bird. On a terrible accent. I'm so bad at accents. I really was trying to persuade. Kate's a bit shy. Kate Bracken's a bit shy of doing something live with me, but she's an actress and she's from Scotland, and I really wanted to get her on to teach me a Scottish accent because I'm the worst person in the world at accents. So I'm gonna have to find another actor or someone that to get me on and teach me an accent, because it would be the most entertaining evening of everyone's lives. I once had to do in an improv night, I had to do an accent roller coaster. So basically the audience shout out different accents at you. So you're given a scene, you're given like some sort of like something to do. I can't remember what, like a subject and what's something that's happening, and you're acting out a scene, but they keep shouting different accents. You keep having to change your accent. All mine sound almost exactly the same, and the audience were like crying, laughing at how bad they were. I'm terrible. I'm not advertising myself as an actress very well here at all, because I'm not good at accents. That's the bottom line. I'm not. Oh, do Canadian. Good idea, Jodie. Yeah. How do I do a Canadian accent?
I know, it's funny. Whenever my aunt and my cousins live in America, down in the States, and when we would go visit them, they'd make us say things, and they're like, say house, say out, say about. But I don't hear it because I say it.
Oh, like say it. Well, you say those words then.
And then we would say it, and they'd crack up, and they're like, "You say it so funny." Sorry.
Say house.
House.
House. Are you just saying house? I don't know about it. What's like a little Canadian saying? Is there a little saying that people say?
Well, we say sorry to everything and for everything. Like if we bump into a door, we'll apologize to the door and say sorry.
I do that all the time.
They always say
A.
Everyone's always like A. Canada, I don't know. I guess because I'm immersed in it. I don't see it.
I'm immersed. Oh, I can't do it. Canada, is that right? I'm so bad at accents.
Well, and then in Canada, they vary. So if you go out east, my mom's family's from the Maritimes.
Yeah.
So there's like Maritimers sound different. Newfies from Newfoundland, they sound different. If you go, you know, and then in Quebec, they speak French.
Yeah, I sound totally different to every single one of the people that are tuned in tonight and put comments on here that I know, because I'm from the northeast, and I don't think any of these are. To let me know if you are, and I'll give you a big northeast shout out. So in like 10 minutes time in the UK, I've got a child that's just entered the room. I don't know, darling. My daughter just came in and was like, "Where's Daddy?" Sorry. In the UK, there's on Twitter. Well, not in the UK. It's on Twitter. It's everywhere. But it's the GB Doc tweet chat, and it goes live at 9 o'clock. So we can't go on for too much longer because I don't like to encroach on their time. Everyone should definitely take part in that. It's always very interesting. I did want to mention, like I did last week when I was on with Johnny Labby, the JJRF virtual step challenge. So obviously right now charities are really struggling because loads of their events that would have brought them in a lot of money have had to be cancelled. So if, like me, if you're a very keen JJRF supporter, please have a look at their virtual step challenge online. It's doing 400,000 steps in 40 days. And you can get people to sponsor you and raise a bit of money for them. So definitely check that out. I've told you guys that next week I've got Partha Carr. He's my guest next week. Rebecca, so you have a blog, don't you?
Yes.
Tell everyone about your blog and where they can find it.
So the blog is called Dead Pancreas Anxiety. I'm on Instagram. You can go also to deadpancreasanxiety.com. And I have a very frank and colloquial writing style, so it's not for everyone. There's curse words here and there, but I blog honestly about my experiences with anxiety, my experiences with type 1, those things combined. So that's where the blog is. And then I do speaking engagements and other things here and there all over.
Right. So everyone, Dead Pancreas Anxiety. And I guess that's come from Dead Poets Society, that title, has it?
A little bit. Given I was a writer, loved the movie also, but I love to write, and I had another blog going, but it seemed that it was better if I channeled things directly in one way, and that was where it went.
I see. Everyone's asking, that's me lying, nobody's asking where my t-shirt's from. Nobody's asked me, but this is a Pricks product. This is one of my own t-shirts that I sell. If you go on, head over onto Etsy and search Pricks products, and you can find all the diabetes related stuff that I sell. As my tour has been cancelled, and I'm going to show you the mess of my room, but look at all those boxes there. This is all my Pricks product stock. There's so much of it that I need to shift. Please go on.
I need a t-shirt.
Yes, you do need a t-shirt
to match my little bag.
What? Yes, to match your a little bag of Pricks. Yes, you definitely need a t-shirt. I also do sweaters. I do all sorts. But yeah, so please go and check out Pricks products on Etsy. But thank you so much, Rebecca, for teaching me some drawing. That was my first one that I didn't like the shape of, so I did that one separate. If you've drawn a dead pancreas for us or a cat, please share it with me. Please tag me in it. I want to see it.
Yes.
Pancreas Anxiety wants to see it as well on Instagram. Thank you so much for joining us. Head over and enjoy the tweet chat, the GB Doc tweet chat. But Rebecca, thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
You've been a super guest. I knew you would be. But you've been an absolutely super guest. And I just want to say thank you so much. I'll be back the same time next week, guys, with Partha Carr. And also, I might be putting something on YouTube at 1 p.m. on Friday, maybe, if you want it, that is. Would you be interested? Get in touch and let me know if you'd be interested to see a little mini documentary. It's under 10 minutes long. A little mini Pricks documentary that we filmed last year. I might put it on YouTube on Friday.
I'm interested.
Good.
I want to see it.
Well, I'm thinking about putting it on Friday, and 1 p.m. is I've been told is a good time to share stuff. So I'm thinking about doing it. So if you want to see it, let me know. In the meantime, everyone, stay safe, stay at home, and wash your hands. Take care, everyone. Love you all.